Hey y'all, thanks for tuning in to Outdoor and Door Texan. Today I'm going to show you how I make crispy southern fried oysters. They're crunchy, they're briny, and they've got just the right amount of kick to keep you coming back for more. Getting right to it, we're starting with the star of the show, raw oysters. This recipe works with a full pint, but in this video you might notice I'm just using a half pint since I was just cooking for my family and didn't want to overdo it. But just know you can at least double the amount of fried oysters you're going to see me making in this recipe. Pour 2 cups of buttermilk into a mixing bowl or a measuring cup and add a tablespoon or 2 of your favorite southern hot sauce. I'm using Crystal, but you're welcome to grab whichever one your family swears by. Now we're going to add the oysters to the buttermilk. Off camera, I drain the oysters, and it's important to point out that you should not rinse them. You want some of that brine to stick around to add to your overall flavor, so trust me, no rinse. Let the oysters soak for about 15 minutes or so on the counter. The buttermilk helps tenderize the meat as well as give the breading something to stick to when we go to the dredge. Also, the soak really helps the oysters come down in temperature so they're not ice cold when you try to fry them. Never fry cold oysters. Now, let's leave those oysters soaking on the counter and move on to building our dredge. For the breading, you'll need 2 cups of flour and 2 cups of yellow cornmeal. This combo gives you that perfect southern crunch. Now for the kick, I'm adding a healthy pour of Slap Ya Mama Cajun seasoning, which has a great bold flavor and lower salt than other similar seasonings, which makes it perfect for breading. Finally, add a touch of salt and pepper before giving everything a big stir so that all those flavors are evenly mixed throughout. Now take your oysters out of the buttermilk one at a time, let the excess drip off, then dredge them in the flour and cornmeal mixture until they're completely coated. I like to work with 3 to 4 oysters at a time so things don't get too crazy, and use one set of tongs for the wet buttermilk part and then use another set of tongs for the dry breading mixture part. Trust me, this will help a ton when it comes to that caked up breading mess that often happens when you're trying to fry something. Once the oysters are well coated, shake them off and place them on a wire rack sitting over a pan. This way you have all your oysters prepped and ready to fry rather than going back and forth between dredging and frying. Now it's time to heat your oil. You'll need about 1 to 2 cups of frying oil depending on the size of your pan, and make sure you don't fill it more than halfway, especially if you're using a more shallow pan like my cast iron here. Gradually bring that temperature up to 350, and if you don't have an instant read thermometer, just drop in a pinch of flour, and when it sizzles right away, you're ready to go. Carefully drop your oysters into the oil and always try to have them fall away from your body so you don't get splashed with hot grease. Trust me, that's not fun. Also, fry the oysters in small batches so you don't overcrowd the pan. This reduces oil splatter and it helps them cook more evenly. They should only take about 2 to 3 minutes or so, or until they're visibly golden brown. When they look cooked and ready, pull them out with a slotted spoon and set them either back on your wire rack or on a trusty paper towel lined plate to drain off any extra oil. And don't forget to give them that all-important light sprinkle of salt while they're still hot so the seasoning sticks. And that's it. You've got yourself a plate of crispy southern fried oysters. They're perfect on their own, served with a squeeze of lemon or dipped into your favorite remoulade or hot sauce. That'll do it for this one. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Let me know how yours turns out, and feel free to share any tried and true tips and tweaks of your own. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It doesn't cost you anything, it helps me out a ton, and you'll have access to plenty of great recipes with even more to come. All right, y'all, take care.